Beneath the waves of our vast oceans lies a world of secrets that have puzzled explorers and archaeologists for centuries. Imagine entire cities swallowed by the sea, ancient monuments hidden in the depths, and civilizations lost to time, only to resurface in fragments that defy explanation. What if the ruins beneath our oceans hold clues to forgotten histories, advanced cultures, or even legendary places like Atlantis? From Japan's enigmatic Yonaguni Monument to Egypt's sunken city of Heracleion, these underwater mysteries challenge everything we think we know about human history. In this video, we'll dive deep into 50 of the most baffling underwater ruins ever discovered, sites that continue to spark debate, inspire legends, and rewrite the past. Stay with us as we uncover the truth behind these submerged enigmas and prepare to question what really lies beneath the waves. Now, let's set sail for our first underwater mystery, the Yonaguni Monument off the coast of Japan. Often dubbed the Japanese Atlantis, this massive submerged structure has sparked fierce debate among researchers since its discovery in the 1980s. Picture towering terraces, sharp right angles, and what appear to be staircases carved into solid rock, all lying 60 feet beneath the ocean surface. Some experts argue these formations are unmistakably man-made, pointing to the precise geometry and what looks like a colossal pyramid or even an ancient ceremonial platform. Others insist natural geological processes like strong currents eroding sandstone over millennia could explain the monument's striking features, adding fuel to the fire. Local legends speak of a sunken city in these waters, while fringe theories connect the site to lost civilizations like Mu or Lemuria. Whether it's a natural wonder or proof of an advanced ancient culture, one thing's certain: Yonaguni keeps us questioning what secrets still lurk in the deep. Leaving the enigmatic terraces of Yonaguni behind, we now journey to the sunken streets of Pavlopetri, nestled off the southern coast of Greece. This isn't just any underwater ruin, it's the oldest submerged city ever discovered, dating back an astonishing 5,000 years to the Bronze Age. Imagine walking through a perfectly preserved grid of streets, where ancient buildings still stand with their walls intact, and tombs whisper secrets of a long-lost civilization. Unlike other ruins that have been scattered by time, Pavlopetri's layout is so clear, archaeologists could map it like a modern neighborhood. What makes this site truly groundbreaking is how it changed underwater archaeology forever. Before its discovery in the 1960s, no one realized entire cities could survive so well beneath the waves. The pottery, tools, and even furniture found here paint a vivid picture of daily life millennia ago, proof that the sea doesn't just erase history but sometimes guards it. Whether it was sinking due to earthquakes or rising sea levels, Pavlopetri's silent streets offer a rare window into a world that thrived when the pyramids were still young. Now, let's set sail from the Mediterranean to the mystical shores of India, where two underwater sites blur the line between legend and reality. First, we arrive at Dwarka, a city steeped in Hindu mythology as the ancient kingdom of Lord Krishna. Beneath the waves, archaeologists have uncovered massive stone anchors, towering walls, and intricate structures that eerily match descriptions from sacred texts like the Mahabharata. These submerged ruins, dating back at least 3,500 years, suggest Dwarka wasn't just a myth. It was a thriving port city swallowed by the sea, just as the stories foretold. But the real game changer lies deeper in the Gulf of Cambay, where sonar scans revealed an even older secret. Here, artifacts pulled from the seabed, including pottery, tools, and even human remains, have been controversially dated to 9,500 years old. If verified, this discovery could rewrite history, pushing back the timeline of advanced Indian civilizations by thousands of years. Skeptics argue the evidence is inconclusive, but proponents believe these ruins could belong to a lost culture predating even the Indus Valley. Whether myth or groundbreaking truth, these sunken Indian sites challenge everything we thought we knew about humanity's earliest chapters. Leaving behind the mysteries of India, we now dive into the Mediterranean to uncover a city that was once the stuff of legend Heracleion, also known as Thonis. For centuries, this ancient Egyptian port was thought to be nothing more than a myth, until marine archaeologists stumbled upon its sunken ruins in the early 2000s. Buried beneath the sea for over 1,200 years, Heracleion was once a bustling gateway between Egypt and the Greek world, a place where colossal statues of pharaohs stood guard over temples dedicated to Ammon, the king of the gods. Imagine walking through its grand harbors where ships from across the ancient world docked, unloading treasures and spices. Today, divers explore its silent streets where towering stone figures lie half-buried in the sand, and hieroglyphic inscriptions still tell tales of its glory days. Among the most striking discoveries is a 5-meter-tall statue of the god Hapi, symbolizing the Nile's fertility, and the remains of a massive temple complex where Cleopatra herself may have once walked. What makes Heracleion even more fascinating is how it vanished. Unlike cities destroyed by war or fire, this maritime hub slowly sank into the Mediterranean, likely due to a combination of rising sea levels and unstable sediment. As the waters claimed it, the city became a time capsule, preserving everything from gold coins to ceremonial barges. Now, every artifact pulled from its depths offers a glimpse into a world where Egyptian and Greek cultures intertwined, rewriting what we know about ancient trade and religion. Next, we'll journey from the Mediterranean's depths to the Caribbean, where a very different kind of underwater city awaits, one steeped in pirates, sin, and a disaster frozen in time. From the sunken grandeur of Heracleion, we shift our focus to a place where lawlessness met catastrophe, Port Royal, Jamaica. Known as the wickedest city on earth, this notorious pirate haven met its dramatic end in 1692 when a massive earthquake sent 2/3 of the city plunging into the Caribbean in a matter of minutes. Unlike Heracleion's gradual disappearance, Port Royal's fate was sudden and violent, freezing the city in a moment of chaos. Today, the underwater ruins offer an eerily preserved snapshot of 17th century life. Divers have uncovered everything from cobblestone streets to crumbling taverns, where pirates and merchants once caroused. Among the most haunting discoveries are pocket watches stopped at the exact time the earthquake struck, 11:43 in the morning, capturing the instant disaster reshaped history. Port Royal wasn't just a den of thieves, it was a bustling hub of trade where Spanish gold, African slaves, and European goods changed hands. The city's underwater remains include intact warehouses filled with rum barrels, weaponry, and even perfectly preserved pewter plates, as if the diners simply vanished mid-meal. Archaeologists have also found personal items like shoes and pipes, humanizing the lives lost in the tragedy. What makes Port Royal unique is how the disaster acted like a time capsule. The earthquake's rapid burial in oxygen-poor sediment prevented decay, leaving organic materials like wood and leather astonishingly intact. This level of preservation is rare, offering an unparalleled window into the daily lives of pirates, sailors, and the people who thrived in this chaotic port. As we leave the Caribbean's sunken Sin City behind, our next stop takes us to a discovery so bizarre, it sparked debates about ancient aliens and lost civilizations, the Baltic Sea Anomaly. Now, let's dive into one of the most baffling underwater mysteries ever uncovered, the Baltic Sea Anomaly. In 2011, a team of Swedish treasure hunters stumbled upon something utterly unexpected while scanning the seafloor with sonar. What appeared on their screens was a massive circular structure measuring roughly 60 meters across, with strange, angular features that looked anything but natural. At first glance, it resembled a crashed UFO or perhaps the remnants of an ancient, unknown civilization. The anomaly's bizarre shape immediately sparked wild theories. Some speculated it could be a sunken alien spacecraft pointing to its smooth, rounded top and what appeared to be a long, trailing runway behind it. Others suggested it might be a lost Atlantean monument or even a secret Nazi anti-submarine device from World War II. But scientists quickly stepped in with more grounded explanations, proposing that the structure could simply be a glacial deposit, a large boulder left behind by retreating ice sheets thousands of years ago. What makes this discovery even more puzzling are the strange electromagnetic readings reported by the divers. Equipment allegedly malfunctioned when they got too close, and some claimed their cameras and phones suddenly died. While skeptics argue these could be coincidences or technical glitches, the reports only fueled the mystery. Geologists have since pointed out that the Baltic Sea floor is littered with natural formations shaped by glacial activity, but none quite as symmetrical or oddly geometric as this one. The debate continues to this day. Could the Baltic Sea Anomaly be proof of an ancient, advanced culture lost to time? Or is it just an unusual but entirely natural rock formation? Without further excavation, which has been hampered by the site's depth and murky conditions, we may never know for sure. But one thing's certain, this enigmatic structure keeps us questioning what else might be hidden beneath the waves. As we leave this underwater puzzle behind, our journey takes us next to the high-altitude waters of Lake Titicaca, where another sunken wonder awaits discovery. Rising high above sea level, our next underwater mysteries take us to the peaks of the Andes and the volcanic highlands of Guatemala. Nestled between Bolivia and Peru, Lake Titicaca holds more than just the title of the world's highest navigable lake. It guards ancient secrets beneath its shimmering surface. Divers exploring these icy waters have uncovered what appear to be submerged temples and terraces, their stonework eerily reminiscent of Inca architecture. The most striking discovery, a massive underwater temple complex with corridors and ceremonial plazas that mirror the sacred sites built by later Andean civilizations. Some researchers believe these ruins could predate even the Tiwanaku culture, potentially rewriting the timeline of South America's earliest civilizations. Meanwhile, nearly 2,000 miles north, another high-altitude lake conceals an equally astonishing time capsule. Guatemala's Lake Atitlan, formed in the crater of a massive volcano, cradles what may be the most perfectly preserved Mayan ceremonial site ever found. When archaeologists first spotted the submerged village through the lake's crystal-clear waters, they couldn't believe their eyes. Stone altars, ceremonial platforms, and even household items lay undisturbed as if frozen in time. The site's remarkable preservation offers an unprecedented window into daily Mayan life, with artifacts suggesting this was an important pilgrimage destination before volcanic activity caused the waters to rise. What connects these two distant sites? Both challenge our understanding of how ancient cultures interacted with their environments. The Titicaca ruins suggest sophisticated building techniques existed long before the Inca Empire, while Atitlan's village shows how quickly nature can reclaim human settlements. Together, they prove that altitude offers no protection against the march of time, or the rising waters that have swallowed so many chapters of human history. As we surface from these mountain lakes, our exploration takes an unexpected turn toward the tropical waters of the Bahamas, where a seemingly straight path beneath the waves has sparked decades of debate about lost civilizations. Now, let's dive into the warm, turquoise waters of the Bahamas, where a peculiar underwater formation has fueled speculation for decades. Stretching nearly half a mile across the ocean floor near Bimini Island, the so-called Bimini Road consists of massive, rectangular limestone blocks arranged in what appears to be a deliberate, straight path. At first glance, it's easy to see why some believe this could be a remnant of a lost civilization, perhaps even the fabled Atlantis. The blocks, some weighing several tons, are neatly aligned, almost like paving stones leading to some long-forgotten destination. But is this really a man-made road or just a fascinating quirk of nature? geologists point to the natural process of beach-rock formation, where fragmented limestone cements together over time, often creating straight, block-like segments. They argue that the Bimini Road structure fits this explanation perfectly. Yet, archaeologists counter with intriguing details like the presence of tool marks on some stones and the precise right angles that seem too perfect for random geological processes. Adding another layer to the mystery are the prophecies of Edgar Cayce, the famous American psychic. Decades before the Bimini Road's discovery in 1968, Cayce predicted that evidence of Atlantis would emerge near Bimini. His followers see the formation as confirmation of his visions, while skeptics dismiss it as coincidence. What makes this debate so compelling is how it bridges science and legend. Whether the Bimini Road is a geological oddity or a relic of Atlantis, it challenges us to question what we know about the past and what might still lie hidden beneath the waves. As we leave these sun-drenched shallows, our journey takes us deeper into the ocean's mysteries, where even stranger discoveries await. Shifting our gaze to the deep blue waters off Cuba's western coast, we encounter one of the most perplexing underwater discoveries of modern times. In 2001, a team of researchers mapping the ocean floor stumbled upon something extraordinary. A series of massive, geometric structures resting nearly 2,000 feet below the surface. Sonar images revealed what appeared to be symmetrical formations, some resembling pyramids, others stretching out like sprawling urban grids. The precision of these shapes immediately sparked debate. Could this be the remnants of an ancient city, swallowed by the sea tens of thousands of years ago? The sheer depth of these structures adds to the mystery. At such extreme pressures and darkness, natural explanations seem less likely to some. Proponents of the lost city theory argue that the formations align too perfectly to be random geological features. They point to the right angles, uniform spacing, and what looks like interconnected pathways details that echo the layout of known ancient settlements. Some researchers even suggest these ruins could date back 50,000 years, a time when sea levels were dramatically lower, potentially exposing land now submerged. But skeptics urge caution. Oceanographers note that the seabed is full of unusual formations created by volcanic activity, erosion, and shifting sediments. They argue that what looks like a city could simply be fractured bedrock or hardened lava flows, shaped by natural forces over millennia. Without physical evidence like tools or artifacts, it's impossible to confirm human involvement. Yet the debate rages on, fueled by the tantalizing possibility that these structures could rewrite our understanding of early civilizations. What makes the Cuban underwater city so captivating is its blend of high-tech discovery and age-old mystery. Whether it's a geological marvel or a sunken metropolis, it reminds us how much of our planet's history remains hidden in the deep. And as we venture further into the unknown, the ocean continues to challenge what we think we know about the past. Now let's dive into the legendary waters of Alexandria, where history and myth intertwine beneath the Mediterranean waves. Off the coast of Egypt, archaeologists have uncovered what many believe to be the remnants of Cleopatra's palace complex, a breathtaking underwater world frozen in time. Imagine swimming past towering columns, intricate statues, and even sphinxes, all silent witnesses to the grandeur of one of history's most famous rulers. The discoveries here are nothing short of extraordinary. Among the ruins, researchers have found colossal stone blocks, some weighing several tons, adorned with hieroglyphs and carvings that hint at their royal origins. But the most tantalizing find, a series of chambers and tunnels that some experts speculate could lead to the long-lost tomb of Cleopatra herself. For centuries, her final resting place has been one of archaeology's greatest mysteries, and these underwater excavations might finally bring us closer to the truth. Of course, the waters of Alexandria haven't given up their secrets easily. The palace complex was submerged over centuries thanks to a combination of earthquakes and rising sea levels, which slowly swallowed this once magnificent seat of power. Today, divers navigate through a labyrinth of ruins where every artifact tells a story, whether it's a fragment of pottery or a gold coin bearing the Queen's likeness. What makes this site so captivating isn't just its connection to Cleopatra, but how it bridges the gap between legend and reality. While some skeptics argue that definitive proof of her tomb remains elusive, the sheer scale of the discoveries leaves little doubt that this was a place of immense importance. And as archaeologists continue to explore these sunken halls, who knows what other treasures might emerge from the depths? One thing's for certain: the Mediterranean still holds countless secrets waiting to be uncovered. Shifting our gaze to the Atlantic Ocean, we arrive at a discovery that has sparked fierce debate among researchers: the so-called underwater pyramids of Portugal. Nestled off the coast of the Azores, these enigmatic structures rise from the ocean floor, their precise angles and symmetrical shapes defying easy explanation. Some researchers argue these formations could be remnants of an advanced civilization dating back an astonishing 20,000 years, while others insist they're nothing more than the work of natural geological forces. The controversy centers on their uncanny resemblance to man-made pyramids, complete with what appear to be stepped terraces and aligned edges. Divers and sonar imaging have revealed structures that, at first glance, seem too orderly to be random volcanic formations. Proponents of the artificial origin theory point to the Azores' position in the mid-Atlantic, a region often linked to myths of lost continents like Atlantis. Could these pyramids be evidence of a forgotten chapter in human history? On the other side of the debate, geologists highlight the Azores' volcanic activity, suggesting these formations are simply the result of ancient lava flows and tectonic shifts. They argue that nature is fully capable of creating angular shapes through processes like columnar basalt formation. Yet, even skeptics admit the precision of some features is puzzling. Adding fuel to the mystery, artifacts recovered nearby, including what some claim are carved stones, hint at possible human interaction, though definitive proof remains elusive. What makes this site so compelling is the unanswered questions it raises. If these structures are natural, why do they mirror architectural styles found in ancient cultures worldwide? And if they're artificial, who built them, and how did their civilization vanish beneath the waves? As exploration continues, the underwater pyramids of the Azores remain a tantalizing enigma, challenging our understanding of both geology and human history. One thing's certain: the ocean floor still holds surprises that could rewrite the stories we think we know. Now, let's journey to the eastern Mediterranean, where the waters off Israel's coast hide one of the most extraordinary time capsules from humanity's distant past: the Neolithic village of Atlantis. Submerged for nearly 9,000 years, this ancient settlement offers a rare glimpse into the lives of some of the earliest farmers and fishermen. What makes Atlantis truly remarkable isn't just its age, but the astonishing preservation of structures and artifacts that have defied the passage of time. At the heart of the site lies the world's oldest known stone wells, a testament to the ingenuity of these early communities. These wells weren't just sources of water, they were feats of engineering, carefully constructed to tap into freshwater springs even as rising sea levels threatened the village. But Atlantis' secrets don't end there. Archaeologists have uncovered human remains with traces of tuberculosis, pushing back the known history of this devastating disease by thousands of years. These findings suggest that the shift to settled farming life may have brought unforeseen health challenges, rewriting our understanding of early human societies. Perhaps most intriguing are the mysterious ritual structures scattered across the site. One arrangement of stones forms a semicircle around what appears to be a freshwater spring, with carvings that hint at spiritual or ceremonial significance. Nearby, a cluster of upright megaliths stands like silent sentinels, their purpose lost to time. Were these markers for burials, sites of worship, or something else entirely? The absence of written records leaves us with tantalizing questions. What's clear is that Atlantis was far more than a simple fishing village. The evidence points to a sophisticated community with advanced knowledge of construction, medicine, and possibly even early astronomy. As sea levels rose, the inhabitants either adapted or vanished, leaving behind a submerged snapshot of Neolithic life. Today, this underwater time capsule continues to challenge assumptions about how our ancestors lived, thrived, and ultimately faced the forces of nature. Each discovery here peels back another layer of the human story, reminding us that history isn't just written on land, it's etched beneath the waves. Now, let's set sail for the depths of the Black Sea, where the waters hold secrets so well preserved they seem frozen in time. Here, the lack of oxygen in the depths has created a unique underwater museum, safeguarding ancient shipwrecks in near-perfect condition for over 2,500 years. These aren't just broken fragments of wood, they're entire vessels, their masts, rudders, and even coiled ropes still intact, offering an unprecedented window into ancient maritime trade. Among these discoveries lies the submerged Greek city of Phanagoria, once a thriving hub of the Bosporan kingdom. As you explore its ruins, you'll find streets, walls, and tombs now resting beneath the waves, telling a story of sudden catastrophe. Local legends speak of a great flood swallowing the city, and the archaeological evidence suggests there may be truth to these tales. Layers of sediment point to a rapid rise in sea levels, possibly linked to seismic activity, leaving us to wonder, did the ancients witness this disaster firsthand and pass down the memory through myth? What makes the Black Sea's depth so extraordinary is the anoxic water, a phenomenon where oxygen levels are so low that wood-eating organisms can't survive. This has preserved not just ships but everyday objects like amphorae, tools, and even food remnants, giving us a vivid snapshot of life centuries ago. One shipwreck, believed to be from the classical Greek period, still carries its cargo of ceramic jars, their contents sealed for millennia. The discoveries here don't just rewrite maritime history, they blur the line between legend and reality. Could these sunken cities and ships have inspired ancient flood stories like Noah's Ark or the tales of lost civilizations? As researchers continue to uncover these underwater treasures, each find adds another piece to the puzzle, proving that sometimes the most enduring stories are those hidden beneath the sea. Now let's journey from the depths of the Black Sea to the freshwater expanse of Lake Michigan, where an astonishing discovery lies hidden beneath the waves. 40 feet below the surface, a mysterious circle of stones rests on the lakebed, eerily reminiscent of England's Stonehenge. But this isn't just a random arrangement of rocks, it's a carefully constructed formation that has archaeologists buzzing with questions. Who built it, and more intriguingly, when? What makes this underwater site even more fascinating is the discovery of a single boulder among the stones, carved with the unmistakable image of a mastodon. These ancient relatives of elephants roamed North America over 10,000 years ago, long before the Great Lakes took their current form. The presence of this carving suggests that whoever created this structure might have lived alongside these massive creatures, offering a rare glimpse into a prehistoric world we're only beginning to understand. Could this underwater Stonehenge be evidence of an advanced civilization that thrived in North America long before recorded history? Some researchers believe the stones align with celestial events, much like their famous counterpart in England, hinting at sophisticated astronomical knowledge. Others propose it might have been a sacred site for rituals or a marker for ancient trade routes. The truth remains submerged, both literally and figuratively, waiting for further exploration. The cold, fresh waters of Lake Michigan have preserved this enigmatic site, but they've also kept its secrets just out of reach. As divers and scientists continue to study the stones, each new detail chips away at the mystery, revealing a story that could rewrite our understanding of early human activity in the region. One thing is certain, this underwater circle is a silent testament to a forgotten chapter of history, one that challenges what we thought we knew about the ancient past. From mastodons to celestial alignments, the Lake Michigan Stonehenge is more than just a curiosity, it's a puzzle piece in the grand mosaic of human civilization. And as we'll see next, our journey through the world's submerged mysteries is far from over. Leaving behind the enigmatic stones of Lake Michigan, we now travel to the sunken playground of ancient Rome's elite, the legendary city of Baiae. Nestled along Italy's volcanic coastline, this underwater marvel was once the ultimate luxury destination, a place where emperors, senators, and the wealthiest citizens indulged in excess. Today, its opulent ruins lie beneath the waves, preserved by the same volcanic forces that eventually swallowed them. Imagine a city where marble villas stretched along the shore, their floors adorned with intricate mosaics, and thermal springs bubbled with mineral-rich waters believed to heal and rejuvenate. Baiae was the Las Vegas of its time, a place of lavish parties, political intrigue, and whispered scandals. But unlike its modern counterpart, Baiae's downfall wasn't due to changing tastes. It was the relentless rise of the sea, driven by volcanic activity that slowly submerged this paradise over centuries. Divers exploring Baiae today are greeted by an eerie yet breathtaking sight. Grand columns toppled like dominoes, statues of gods and emperors now home to schools of fish, and mosaic floors still vibrant after 2,000 years underwater. One of the most haunting features, the hot springs that once fed the city's luxurious baths still gurgle through the ruins, their warm currents swirling amidst the ancient stones. Archaeologists have uncovered evidence of Baiae's decadence, from delicate glassware to gold jewelry, painting a vivid picture of a society obsessed with pleasure and status. But the city's fate also serves as a stark reminder of nature's power. The same volcanic vents that made its hot springs famous eventually triggered bradysism, a gradual shifting of the land that caused Baiae to sink beneath the Mediterranean. What makes Baiae uniquely captivating is how accessible its ruins are. Unlike many underwater sites hidden in deep or murky waters, Baiae's treasures lie just a few meters below the surface, allowing snorkelers and divers to glide through its ancient streets. It's as if the city refuses to be forgotten, its stories bubbling up through the warm springs and shimmering mosaics. From hedonistic retreat to underwater museum, Baiae's legacy is a testament to both human extravagance and the Earth's relentless transformations. And as we'll soon discover, our next stop holds another tale of a civilization swallowed by the sea, but under very different circumstances. Now, shifting our gaze from the sunken Roman luxury of Baiae, we journey east to the rugged landscapes of Turkey, where Lake Van holds its own underwater secret, a 3,000-year-old fortress from the ancient kingdom of Urartu. This massive stone structure, lying 100 feet beneath the lake's surface, is a stunning relic of an Iron Age civilization that once dominated the region. Lake Van, Turkey's largest lake, is no ordinary body of water. Its alkaline, mineral-rich depths have acted as a natural preservative, safeguarding the castle's walls, staircases, and even delicate carvings from the ravages of time. Divers exploring the site have uncovered a labyrinth of stone corridors and chambers, some still bearing the marks of the Urartian masons who built them. The castle's strategic position suggests it was once a vital stronghold, guarding the kingdom against invaders or perhaps serving as a royal retreat. What makes this discovery even more fascinating is the lake's history. Unlike coastal cities swallowed by rising seas, Lake Van's waters have fluctuated dramatically over millennia, sometimes exposing the castle and other times submerging it entirely. Researchers believe the fortress was originally built when water levels were lower, only to be abandoned as the lake expanded. Today, its submerged state offers a rare glimpse into Eurasian engineering, with walls still standing tall despite centuries underwater. Among the most intriguing finds are stone inscriptions in the Eurasian language, a script that once echoed through these halls but now remains largely undeciphered. These carvings, along with artifacts like pottery and tools, hint at daily life within the castle's walls, trade, worship, and the ever-present need for defense. The lake's unique chemistry has even preserved organic materials like wooden beams, offering archaeologists an unusually complete picture of Iron Age construction techniques. Lake Van's castle isn't just a relic, it's a testament to how water can both erase and preserve history. As we prepare to dive into our next mystery, remember, beneath the waves lie not just ruins but entire chapters of human ambition waiting to be rediscovered. Leaving behind the ancient fortress beneath Lake Van, we now travel to the sun-drenched shores of India, where an extraordinary discovery emerged from the ocean's depths thanks to nature's fury. The 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami, a tragedy that claimed countless lives, also unveiled a hidden marvel, the long-lost sunken temples of Mahabalipuram. For centuries, local fishermen spoke of 7 legendary pagodas swallowed by the sea, dismissed as mere folklore until the tsunami's receding waves exposed towering stone structures, confirming the myths as startling reality. These temples, part of a sprawling coastal complex built by the Pallava dynasty over 1,300 years ago, now lie scattered beneath the waves. Divers exploring the site have encountered breathtaking stone carvings, gods, goddesses, and mythical creatures frozen in intricate detail, their expressions still vivid despite centuries underwater. Among the most striking finds is a massive lion sculpture, a symbol of royal power guarding the entrance to what was likely a grand temple hall. The precision of the carvings, from delicate floral motifs to elaborate scenes from Hindu epics, reveals the mastery of Pallava artisans, whose work rivals even the famous shore temple still standing on land. What makes Mahabalipuram's underwater ruins so compelling is their connection to living history. The site's rediscovery validated ancient Tamil poems and colonial-era accounts describing a bustling port city with 7 golden pagodas, 6 of which were said to have vanished beneath the waves. Archaeologists now believe rising sea levels around the 9th century gradually submerged these structures, leaving only whispers in local lore until the tsunami temporarily pulled back the ocean's curtain. Today, the submerged temples offer a hauntingly beautiful dive site, with sunlight filtering through the water to illuminate pillars adorned with dancing Shiva figures and submerged shrines dedicated to Vishnu. Even more intriguing are the man-made basins and steps found nearby, suggesting the temples were part of a larger ceremonial complex where rituals may have once mingled with the tides. As we continue our journey through history's sunken secrets, Mahabalipuram stands as a reminder that sometimes the ocean doesn't just hide the past, it gives it back. Now, shifting our gaze to the western coast of India, we encounter 2 enigmatic underwater sites that continue to spark debate among archaeologists. The Gulf of Cambay and the Gulf of Mannar hold secrets that could rewrite our understanding of ancient civilizations in the Indian subcontinent. In the Gulf of Cambay, sonar scans revealed startling geometric patterns on the seabed, grid-like formations resembling city streets, and what appear to be the foundations of large structures. Even more intriguing are the artifacts dredged from these waters, including pottery fragments, beads, and tools that some researchers claim date back an astonishing 9,500 years. If verified, these finds would predate the Harappan civilization by thousands of years, suggesting the existence of a sophisticated coastal society long before what history books currently acknowledge. Meanwhile, in the Gulf of Mannar, a curious underwater formation stretches between India and Sri Lanka, a chain of limestone shoals that some believe could be the remnants of an ancient land bridge. This so-called Rama's Bridge, mentioned in the Hindu epic Ramayana, has fueled speculation about whether it was once a walkable connection between the two landmasses. While geologists argue these formations are natural, the precise alignment and unusual composition keep the debate alive. What ties these two sites together is their potential connection to lost chapters of human history. The Gulf of Cambay's artifacts, if proven to be from a pre-Harappan culture, would reveal an advanced society that thrived before the Great River Valley civilizations emerged. The Gulf of Manar's formations, whether natural or man-made, remind us how ancient stories often contain kernels of truth waiting to be uncovered beneath the waves. As we piece together these underwater puzzles, they challenge not just our timelines of human development, but also how we interpret the blurred line between myth and history. The oceans here seem to guard secrets that could reshape our understanding of India's ancient past if we're willing to listen to what they have to say. Now let's journey to the sunken city of Aulis off the coast of Crete, where the Mediterranean waters hide the remnants of a once thriving Minoan settlement. Unlike many underwater ruins, Aulis offers a rare glimpse into the past just beneath the surface, its stone walls and foundations still clearly visible in the shallow turquoise waters. This ancient port city, believed to have flourished over 2,500 years ago, was a bustling hub of trade and culture before it vanished beneath the waves. What makes Aulis particularly fascinating is its connection to one of history's great mysteries, the Dorian invasion. Some scholars suggest that the city's abandonment and submersion might be linked to this legendary wave of migration which reshaped the ancient Greek world. The Dorians, a people from the north, are often credited with the downfall of the Minoan civilization, and Aulis could hold clues to how this transition unfolded. Were the city's inhabitants forced to flee, or did rising sea levels gradually claim their homes? The debate continues, but the ruins themselves tell a story of resilience and adaptation. Today, snorkelers and divers can explore Aulis's submerged streets, where the outlines of buildings and even an ancient agora, a marketplace, remain eerily intact. The site's accessibility makes it a living classroom for archaeologists and history enthusiasts alike, offering a tangible link to a civilization that once dominated the Aegean. As we piece together the fate of Aulis, we're reminded that even the mightiest cities are not immune to the forces of nature and time. Next, we'll dive into another submerged marvel, this time in China, where an entire city lies preserved beneath a modern lake frozen in time. Now, shifting our gaze to the Far East, we arrive at one of the most extraordinary underwater sites in the world, the sunken city of Xicheng, China's legendary Lion City. Unlike ruins lost to natural disasters or rising seas, this ancient metropolis was intentionally submerged in 1959 to make way for a massive hydroelectric dam project. Today, it lies 130 feet beneath the crystal-clear waters of Qingdao Lake, a hauntingly beautiful time capsule of imperial China. What makes Xicheng truly remarkable is its near-perfect preservation. The cold, deep waters have acted like a natural museum, safeguarding intricate stone carvings, archways, and even wooden beams from the Qing dynasty, some dating back over 600 years. The city's name, Lion City, comes from the nearby Wuxi Mountain or Five Lion Mountain, and its architecture reflects the grandeur of a bygone era. Elaborate temples, stately homes, and wide ceremonial staircases remain frozen in time, their details so crisp that divers can still make out dragon motifs and inscriptions praising ancient emperors. The deliberate flooding of Xicheng adds a layer of modern irony to its story. While the dam brought electricity and progress to the region, it also buried a priceless piece of cultural heritage. Yet, in recent years, underwater archaeologists and photographers have revealed the city's stunning beauty to the world, capturing images of its labyrinthine streets and towering gates adorned with traditional Chinese artistry. The site has even earned the nickname China's Atlantis. Though unlike the mythical city, Xicheng's existence is very real and accessible to those willing to dive into its depths. As we marvel at this underwater marvel, we're left to ponder the trade-offs between preservation and progress. Xicheng's silent halls remind us that history sometimes sinks beneath the waves not by chance but by choice. Next, we'll surface in the Mediterranean to uncover another sunken treasure. This time, a Neolithic village that holds clues to humanity's earliest coastal settlements. Leaving the submerged splendor of China behind, we now journey to the sun-drenched waters of the Mediterranean, where Malta's mysterious underwater megaliths whisper secrets of a lost world. Off the coast of this small island nation, beneath the waves, lie enigmatic cart ruts and the remnants of ancient temple complexes, silent witnesses to a time when Malta's landmass stretched far beyond its current shores. These submerged structures, dating back to the Neolithic period, challenge our understanding of early human settlements and the dramatic changes in sea levels over millennia. The cart ruts in particular are a puzzle that has baffled archaeologists for decades. These parallel grooves carved into the bedrock, now found both on land and underwater, crisscross the seafloor like ancient roadways. Some theories suggest they were used to transport heavy stone blocks for temple construction, while others propose they guided ritual processions or even served as part of an elaborate water management system. What's undeniable is that their presence beneath the waves points to a time when Malta's coastline was vastly different, with large tracts of land now swallowed by the sea. Equally fascinating are the underwater temple complexes, their massive stone slabs hinting at a sophisticated society with advanced engineering skills. These structures mirror Malta's famous above-ground megalithic temples like Haga Kim and Mnajdra, but their submerged state raises tantalizing questions. Were they once part of a larger ceremonial landscape now lost to rising waters? Could they be evidence of a catastrophic event such as a tsunami that reshaped Malta's coastline in antiquity? The underwater megaliths of Malta offer more than just archaeological intrigue. They're a stark reminder of how vulnerable human civilizations are to the forces of nature. As sea levels continue to rise today, these ruins serve as a poignant lesson from the past. Next, we'll dive into the waters off Egypt's coast, where another sunken marvel, the ruins of Canopus and Manauthes, awaits, blending the artistry of two ancient worlds beneath the waves. Shifting our gaze from Malta's submerged mysteries, we now descend into the azure depths of Egypt's Abukir Bay, where the forgotten sister cities of Canopus and Manauthes lie hidden beneath the waves. Once thriving satellites of the legendary Heracleion, these sunken settlements offer a mesmerizing blend of Egyptian grandeur and Greek influence, preserved in an underwater time capsule. The ruins of Canopus and Manauthes reveal a fascinating cultural fusion, where temples dedicated to Egyptian gods like Osiris and Serapis stand adorned with architectural flourishes borrowed from the Greeks. Among the silt-covered columns and toppled statues, archaeologists have uncovered artifacts that tell a story of two worlds colliding: Egyptian hieroglyphs carved alongside Greek inscriptions, and statues with the serene faces of pharaohs draped in Hellenistic robes. This unique blend suggests a period of harmony and exchange between the two civilizations, long before the sea claimed their cities. One of the most striking discoveries here is the Temple of Serapis in Manauthes, its submerged ruins still hinting at its former glory. Serapis, a hybrid deity created to unite Greek and Egyptian worshippers, symbolizes the cultural bridge these cities once represented. Divers have found ceremonial vessels, jewelry, and even fragments of papyrus that detail religious rituals performed in these now silent halls. The artifacts paint a vivid picture of daily life where Greek merchants bartered alongside Egyptian priests, and the rhythms of trade and worship intertwined. But what doomed these bustling hubs? Like Heracleion, Canopus and Manauthes likely fell victim to the same catastrophic subsidence, possibly triggered by earthquakes or liquefaction of the unstable Nile Delta sediments. As the ground gave way, the Mediterranean rushed in, swallowing streets, homes, and temples whole. Today, their ruins rest in shallow waters, accessible enough for divers to glimpse the eerie beauty of columns standing like sentinels in the currents. The legacy of these cities is more than just archaeological. It's a testament to humanity's ability to adapt and merge cultures, even as nature reshapes the world around us. Next, we'll surface in the stormy North Sea, where the drowned city of Rungholt whispers tales of medieval tragedy and myth. Leaving the sunken temples of Egypt behind, we now journey to the windswept shores of England, where the North Sea guards one of history's most haunting maritime tragedies, the lost city of Dunwich. Once a bustling medieval port rivaling London in size and importance, this thriving hub now lies shattered beneath the waves, its ruins scattered across the seabed like fragments of a forgotten dream. Dunwich's story is one of relentless erosion, a slow-motion disaster that unfolded over centuries. At its peak in the 13th century, the town boasted 8 churches, monasteries, and a busy harbor teeming with merchant ships. But the very sea that brought Dunwich its wealth would become its executioner. As storms battered the soft cliffs and tides gnawed at the shoreline, entire neighborhoods crumbled into the water. By the 18th century, most of Dunwich had vanished, leaving only whispers of its former glory. Local legends speak of eerie echoes rising from the deep. Fishermen claim to hear the ghostly tolling of church bells during storms, as if the drowned steeples of Dunwich still call to the living. Modern sonar scans have confirmed these tales aren't pure fantasy. The outlines of streets, buildings, and even the lost chapel of St. Catherine's have been mapped beneath the waves. Archaeologists have recovered medieval pottery, coins, and even human remains from the seabed, painting a poignant picture of lives interrupted by the sea's hunger. What makes Dunwich uniquely tragic is the visible evidence of its demise. Unlike cities swallowed by sudden disasters, Dunwich's fate played out in heartbreaking increments. Parish records document the gradual loss: a church collapsing in one storm, a graveyard slipping into the surf decades later. Today, visitors can stand on the crumbling cliffs and peer into the murky waters, imagining the rooftops and cobbled lanes just out of sight. Dunwich serves as a stark reminder of nature's power to rewrite human geography. But our underwater exploration isn't over yet. Next, we'll dive into the icy depths of Kyrgyzstan's Lake Issyk-Kul, where ancient Scythian ruins hide secrets of Silk Road legends. From the haunting echoes of Dunwich's drowned churches, we now travel to the sun-drenched waters of Israel's coast, where time has preserved 2 of humanity's earliest fishing villages beneath the Mediterranean waves. The submerged ruins of Yarmuta and Tel Hriz offer a rare window into Neolithic life, frozen in time for over 9,000 years. What makes these sites extraordinary is their sheer age. Both villages thrived long before the pyramids of Egypt or the stone circles of Europe were even conceived. At Yarmuta, archaeologists uncovered meticulously crafted stone wells, proving these ancient communities had mastered freshwater access despite living by the sea. Nearby at Tel Hriz, the discovery of fish bones and stone anchors reveals one of the world's earliest known fishing economies. These weren't just settlements, they were pioneers of maritime survival, harvesting the Mediterranean's bounty millennia before recorded history. The real marvel lies in how these ruins defied expectations. Unlike later coastal cities swallowed by rising seas, Yarmuta and Tel Hriz were gradually submerged as glaciers melted at the end of the last ice age. The slow rise of ocean waters preserved their structures almost intact, like a prehistoric time capsule. At Tel Hriz, a crescent-shaped arrangement of boulders may represent humanity's first attempt at a seawall, a desperate bid to hold back the encroaching tides that ultimately claimed their homes. What's equally fascinating is what these sites tell us about early societal collapse. Unlike sudden disasters that wiped out cities like Pompeii or Port Royal, the drowning of Yarmuta and Tel Hriz unfolded over generations. Archaeologists found no evidence of panic, just orderly abandonment as families retreated inland, leaving behind tools, hearths, and even burial sites now carpeted with seaweed. These submerged villages rewrite our understanding of Neolithic ingenuity. Their stone wells show advanced engineering, while fish remains prove they diversified diets beyond farming, an early lesson in adaptability. As we continue our journey, prepare to plunge into the alpine depths of Lake Ohrid, where 6,000-year-old stilt houses reveal how Europe's first farmers lived on the water's edge. Leaving behind the ancient fishing villages of the Mediterranean, we now dive into the warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico, where an entirely different kind of underwater mystery awaits. Off the coast of Alabama lies a submerged forest frozen in time, a sprawling grove of cypress trees that stood tall during the last ice age, now preserved beneath the waves for 60,000 years. What makes this underwater forest so remarkable is its eerie state of preservation. Unlike petrified wood or fossilized remains, these trees are still made of their original organic material. Their stumps remain firmly rooted in the seabed, with bark intact and even sap still detectable in some specimens. Scientists believe this incredible preservation occurred when rising sea levels gradually submerged the forest, with salt water acting as a natural preservative that prevented decay. The discovery itself reads like something out of a maritime legend. Local fishermen had long reported snagging their nets on mysterious obstacles in this area, but it wasn't until 2012, after Hurricane Ivan stirred up the seabed, that divers confirmed these were no ordinary obstructions. They were the remnants of an ancient woodland. The forest now lies under 60 feet of water, about 10 miles offshore, where fish weave between its ghostly trunks like living shadows. This submerged grove offers scientists a rare snapshot of Ice Age ecology. Pollen samples reveal a landscape that was cooler and drier than modern Alabama, with mastodons and giant ground sloths likely roaming among these very trees. Researchers have even found marine creatures like shipworms and burrowing clams adapting to this unusual habitat, turning the drowned forest into an unexpected artificial reef. Perhaps most astonishing is what these trees tell us about climate change. Their growth rings show periods of abrupt climate shifts, some so severe that trees stopped growing for decades. As we continue our journey through history's sunken secrets, this underwater forest serves as both a time capsule and a warning, reminding us how dramatically coastlines can transform when nature decides to rewrite the map. Next, we'll surface in the stormy North Sea, where whispers of a medieval Atlantis lure explorers to Germany's vanished city of Rungholt. From the silent depths of Alabama's ancient forest, we now journey to the storm-lashed coasts of northern Germany, where the sea holds a far more tragic secret. Here, beneath the shifting tides of the Wadden Sea, lies the lost city of Rungholt, a once thriving medieval port now remembered as the Atlantis of the North Sea. The story of Rungholt reads like a cautionary tale etched in waves and wind. On a single catastrophic night in 1362, a monstrous storm surge known as the Groot Mandrink, or Great Drowning of Men, swallowed this wealthy trading town whole. Contemporary accounts describe a city so prosperous it was said to flaunt its riches arrogantly, church bells rung just for entertainment, streets paved with gold, and feasts so lavish they angered God himself. Whether myth or reality, these tales only deepen the mystery when Rungholt vanished without a trace. For centuries, the city's existence was debated, dismissed as mere folklore until the tides began to reveal its secrets. At low tide, fragments of its past emerge from the mudflats, wooden pilings that once supported homes, rusted anchors from merchant ships, and even the faint outlines of drainage ditches that channeled water through the settlement. Archaeologists have identified these remnants as part of a sophisticated system of turpan, artificial mounds built to protect coastal towns from flooding, a defense that ultimately failed against the fury of the 14th century storm. What makes Rungholt especially haunting is how abruptly life there ended. Excavations uncovered everyday objects frozen in time, a cooking pot still perched on a hearth, tools dropped mid-use, and the bones of livestock trapped in their pens. These silent witnesses paint a vivid picture of a community caught entirely off guard by nature's wrath. Yet the sea hasn't given up all its secrets. Local fishermen still report hearing ghostly church bells beneath the waves during storms, fueling legends that Rungholt's pride keeps it alive in some spectral form. Scientists, meanwhile, study the site for clues about rising sea levels and coastal resilience, proving that even 600 years later, this sunken city still has lessons to teach. As we leave the whispers of Rungholt behind, our next stop takes us to the high-altitude waters of Central Asia, where an ancient lake hides Scythian treasures and a biblical mystery. Rising from the stormy legends of Northern Europe, we now ascend to the breathtaking heights of Central Asia, where the crystal-clear waters of Lake Issyk-Kul hold secrets of ancient warriors and sacred mysteries. Nestled between snow-capped peaks in Kyrgyzstan, this massive alpine lake, the second largest saline lake in the world, has swallowed entire chapters of history beneath its shimmering surface. Beneath these deceptively calm waves lie the remnants of a 2,500-year-old Scythian civilization, a nomadic culture feared for their horseback warfare and dazzling gold craftsmanship. Archaeologists have discovered submerged walls, pottery fragments, and even ceremonial hearths that paint a vivid picture of a people who once thrived along these shores. But what makes these ruins truly extraordinary are the whispers of a far more sacred connection. Some researchers believe the lake could hide early Christian relics, possibly even the lost grave of Saint Matthew, one of Jesus' 12 apostles. Local legends speak of an ancient Armenian monastery that once stood here, said to safeguard priceless religious artifacts before vanishing beneath the water. Divers have reported finding stone crosses and unusual structures that resemble early Christian architecture, fueling speculation that this remote lake became an unexpected refuge for spreading faith along the Silk Road. The theory gains traction when you consider historical accounts. Medieval maps marked Issyk-Kul as the location of a holy site, and Venetian explorer Marco Polo himself referenced a Christian community thriving in these mountains. Yet the lake guards its secrets fiercely. The same tectonic shifts that created this stunning landscape also caused water levels to rise over centuries, swallowing settlements without warning. Today, researchers use sonar and underwater drones to map the labyrinth of ruins, but the lake's depth and occasional storms make exploration a challenge. Whether these waters truly hide St. Matthew's final resting place remains debated. But one thing is certain: the Scythians who once ruled these shores left behind more than just weapons and gold. They may have unwittingly become guardians of a spiritual puzzle that spans continents and millennia. As we surface from the mysteries of Issyk-Kul, our journey takes an even more unexpected turn, toward an Italian city where luxury met disaster beneath River Silt. Leaving behind the sacred waters of Lake Issyk-Kul, we now journey to the sun-drenched shores of southern Italy, where the ruins of a city synonymous with extravagance lie hidden beneath layers of river silt. Welcome to Sybaris, the ancient Greek settlement that became legendary for its wealth, hedonism, and ultimate downfall. Founded around 720 BCE by Greek colonists, Sybaris grew into one of the most prosperous cities of Magna Graecia, its name still invoked today as a byword for luxury. What made Sybaris extraordinary wasn't just its riches, it was the sheer ingenuity of its urban planning. Underwater archaeologists have uncovered a meticulously designed grid of streets, far ahead of its time, with neighborhoods laid out in perfect right angles. Even more impressive were the city's advanced water systems, featuring intricate networks of canals and pipes that supplied fresh water to homes and public baths. These discoveries paint a picture of a society that valued comfort and convenience centuries before modern plumbing. But Sybaris's opulence came at a cost. Ancient writers like Diodorus Siculus described a city so devoted to pleasure that its citizens allegedly banned noisy trades like blacksmithing to ensure undisturbed relaxation. Their wealth made them arrogant, and in 510 BCE, their rivals from the nearby city of Croton destroyed Sybaris utterly, diverting the Crathis River to bury its remains under layers of silt. For centuries, the city's exact location remained a mystery until modern archaeologists began probing the waterlogged plains of Calabria. Using ground-penetrating radar and core sampling, researchers finally pinpointed Sybaris beneath 15 feet of sediment. The same river that drowned the city also preserved it like a time capsule, safeguarding delicate artifacts like pottery and bronze tools. Most remarkably, the silt kept intact the outlines of Sybaris's grand public spaces, including what may have been a sprawling agora where merchants once traded silks and spices from across the Mediterranean. Yet the story of Sybaris isn't just one of luxury and ruin. It's a cautionary tale about the fragility of civilization. The very river that sustained the city became its executioner, a reminder that even the mightiest settlements are at the mercy of nature. As we pull back from these watery ruins, our next stop takes us to a very different kind of underwater mystery, where the remnants of an entire Neolithic village lie waiting beneath the waves. Now, let's set sail for the tropical waters of Southeast Asia, where the Java Sea hides secrets of a forgotten past. Beneath its waves lie the remnants of ancient temples, silent witnesses to a civilization that thrived over 1,200 years ago. These submerged structures, discovered near the coast of Java, reveal intricate stone carvings and stepped platforms that echo the grandeur of Indonesia's classical era. Archaeologists believe these ruins may belong to a once flourishing port city, a hub of trade and culture that vanished beneath rising seas or catastrophic natural events. But the mysteries don't end there. Venture further to the Sunda Shelf, a vast underwater plain that was once dry land during the last ice age. When sea levels were lower, this area connected islands like Java, Sumatra, and Borneo, forming a sprawling landscape where early humans likely settled. Some researchers speculate that entire communities, perhaps even advanced societies, existed here before being swallowed by the ocean as glaciers melted. The discovery of submerged river channels and stone tools supports the theory that the Sunda Shelf was a cradle of human activity, lost to time and tide. What makes these sites so fascinating is the glimpse they offer into how dramatically our planet has changed. The Java Sea temples remind us of civilizations that adapted to or succumbed to environmental shifts, while the Sunda Shelf hints at landscapes and lives erased by natural cycles. Together, they paint a picture of Southeast Asia's deep history, where land and sea have always been in flux. As we leave these sunken realms behind, our next journey takes us to the alpine waters of Europe, where another ancient surprise lies waiting beneath the surface. Turning our attention to the heart of the Balkans, we find one of Europe's best-kept secrets beneath the crystal-clear waters of Lake Ohrid. This ancient lake, nestled between North Macedonia and Albania, holds a remarkable underwater treasure, a collection of stilt houses dating back an astonishing 6,000 years. These submerged structures offer a rare window into the lives of some of Europe's earliest farming communities, who built their homes directly over the water's edge. What makes these ruins so extraordinary is their level of preservation. The lake's unique conditions have kept wooden posts, tools, and even food remains intact, allowing archaeologists to piece together how these early settlers lived. They cultivated crops, fished, and crafted pottery, leaving behind clues that suggest a sophisticated understanding of their environment. The stilt houses weren't just practical, they were a clever adaptation to seasonal flooding, proving that these ancient people were far more innovative than we often give them credit for. But the story doesn't end with architecture. Discoveries like charred grains and animal bones reveal a thriving agricultural society, one that laid the groundwork for future civilizations in the region. Lake Ohrid's ruins challenge our assumptions about prehistoric Europe, showing that these communities were connected, resourceful, and deeply in tune with the natural world. As we leave these ancient waters behind, our journey takes us next to the sunken secrets of Turkey's Mediterranean coast, where another forgotten city waits to share its story. Now let's glide along the turquoise waters of Turkey's Mediterranean coast, where the sunken city of Kakova whispers tales of a civilization swallowed by the sea. This ancient Lycian settlement, partially claimed by earthquakes over 2,000 years ago, offers one of the most hauntingly beautiful underwater experiences in the world. Imagine swimming above streets that once bustled with life, now visible just beneath the surface, their staircases descending into the deep as if inviting you to follow. What sets Kakova apart are the eerie yet mesmerizing details preserved by the sea. Submerged sarcophagi, their lids slightly ajar, dot the seabed, while fragments of pottery and stone walls peek through the shimmering water. These ruins weren't fully abandoned locals adapted, building new homes on higher ground, leaving the old city to become a silent underwater museum. The Lycians, known for their cliffside tombs and maritime prowess, designed Kakova to blend with the rugged coastline, and even in ruin, their ingenuity shines. But the real magic lies in how accessible this history is. Unlike many underwater sites requiring scuba gear, Kakova's ruins are visible to snorkelers and kayakers, its clear waters acting like a window into the past. The Turkish government protects the area, forbidding diving to preserve the fragile remains, yet the view from the surface is enough to spark the imagination. Was this a victim of nature's wrath or a gradual surrender to the rising sea? Either way, Kakova stands as a poignant reminder of time's power and humanity's fleeting footprint. As we drift away from these sunken streets, our next stop plunges us into even deeper mysteries, where strange stone formations defy explanation beneath the waves. Leaving the sunken streets of Kakova behind, we now venture into the warm waters of the Persian Gulf, where an even older mystery lies hidden beneath the waves. Here, 90 feet below the surface, strange stone circles stretch across the seabed, their concentric patterns too precise to dismiss as mere quirks of nature. These enigmatic formations, possibly dating back 8,000 years, whisper of a time when this entire region was dry land, a vast, fertile plain where ancient civilizations may have thrived before the rising seas claimed their world. What makes these underwater circles so baffling is their sheer scale and uniformity. Some span dozens of feet in diameter, with stones carefully arranged in perfect rings, suggesting deliberate human craftsmanship. Archaeologists debate whether they were ceremonial sites, fishing traps, or even early astronomical markers, but one thing is clear: they challenge our understanding of how far back human activity in this region truly goes. The Persian Gulf was once part of a lush landscape known as the Gulf Oasis, a refuge during the last ice age, and these circles might be remnants of the people who called it home before the ocean swallowed their world. Unlike the sunken cities we've explored, these circles offer no pottery shards or tools to confirm their origins, just silent, stubborn stones refusing to give up their secrets. Yet their very existence hints at a lost chapter of human history, one that predates the pyramids by millennia. Could they be evidence of a forgotten culture, or do they point to an even older, unknown civilization that once flourished here? As the debate continues, one truth emerges: the Persian Gulf stone circles are a puzzle wrapped in the tides of time. And with that, we turn our gaze to another underwater enigma, where the ruins of a city swallowed by earthquake and tsunami await our discovery. Now let's journey to the shores of ancient Greece, where tragedy and mystery intertwine beneath the waters of a quiet coastal lagoon. Here lies Heracleion, a once prosperous city that met a catastrophic fate in the year 373 before the Common Era. In a single night, a powerful earthquake struck, followed by a devastating tsunami that dragged the entire city into the sea. The disaster was so sudden and complete that Heracleion vanished without a trace, becoming a legend whispered about for centuries. For generations, historians and explorers searched in vain for its remains, until modern technology finally revealed its hidden grave. Buried under layers of silt and sediment in the Corinthian Gulf, Heracleion's ruins emerged collapsed walls, shattered pottery, and even remnants of its harbor, all preserved in a watery tomb. What makes this discovery so haunting is how closely it matches ancient accounts. Greek writers like Strabo described the city's destruction in vivid detail, claiming the gods had punished Heracleion for angering Poseidon. Now, archaeology confirms their stories were more than myth. The ruins tell a tale of sudden doom. Buildings lie crushed, their foundations tilted at unnatural angles, as if frozen in the moment the earth shook. Bronze coins and everyday objects scatter the site, abandoned by residents who had no time to flee. But Heracleion's tragedy also offers clues about ancient seismic activity in the region, helping scientists understand the risks still faced by coastal communities today. Unlike other sunken cities that slowly succumbed to rising seas, Heracleion's end was swift and violent, a stark reminder of nature's power. Yet its rediscovery breathes life back into a story once thought lost to time. As we piece together its final moments, we're left to wonder how many other cities like Heracleion still lie hidden, waiting to share their secrets. With that thought, we set our course for another underwater enigma, where the remnants of a forgotten civilization beckon from the depths. Now our exploration takes us to the sunken shores of India, where the waves whisper tales of two ancient Tamil cities lost to time. Along the coastline of Chandrabhaga Beach, archaeologists have uncovered remnants of a bustling Sangam-era port city, its stone structures and artifacts now resting beneath the sand and surf. This was once a thriving hub of trade and culture, mentioned in classical Tamil literature as a place where merchants from distant lands would gather. The submerged ruins include fragments of pottery, beads, and even ancient dockyards, offering glimpses into a sophisticated maritime society that flourished over 2,000 years ago. Not far from Chandrabhaga lies the legendary city of Pumpuhar, a place steeped in myth and mystery. Ancient texts describe it as a grand capital, home to wealthy traders and artisans until a catastrophic flood swallowed it whole. Local folklore speaks of a great deluge sent by the gods, a story that modern discoveries seem to echo. Divers have found submerged structures, including what appear to be the foundations of temples and residential buildings, stretching far beyond the shoreline. Some researchers believe these ruins could belong to the fabled city described in Tamil epics, while others suggest they point to an even older, forgotten civilization. What makes these sites particularly fascinating is how they bridge history and legend. The artifacts recovered from Chandrabhaga align with descriptions in Sangam poetry, confirming the accuracy of these ancient accounts. Meanwhile, Pumpuhar's ruins challenge us to separate fact from folklore, as each new discovery blurs the line between myth and reality. Were these cities victims of rising seas, or did a sudden disaster, like the one that claimed Heracleion, send them to the ocean's depths? As we piece together their stories, we're reminded that India's coastal waters hold more than just sunken stones. They guard the memories of vibrant cultures that once shaped this region. And with that, we turn our attention to another underwater marvel, where faith and history converge beneath the surface. Now, let's journey to the highlands of Ethiopia, where the tranquil waters of Lake Tana hold secrets of faith and history beneath their surface. This vast lake, the largest in Ethiopia, is dotted with islands that once sheltered ancient churches and monasteries, some of which now lie partially or fully submerged. These underwater ruins are more than just remnants of forgotten buildings. They're tied to some of the most enduring legends of the region, including the mystery of the Ark of the Covenant. Local traditions claim that the Ark, said to house the original 10 Commandments, was brought to Ethiopia thousands of years ago and hidden for safekeeping. While the Ark's supposed resting place is traditionally linked to the Church of St. Mary of Zion in Axum, some believe that Lake Tonna's sunken structures could hold clues to its earlier whereabouts. Divers and researchers have identified stone walls, foundations, and even what appear to be religious artifacts submerged near the lake's shores, hinting at a time when these sites were vibrant centers of worship. What makes Lake Tonna's ruins especially intriguing is their connection to Ethiopia's early Christian history. The lake's islands were once home to monastic communities that preserved sacred texts and relics, some dating back to the 4th century. As water levels rose over time, portions of these settlements slipped beneath the surface, leaving behind tantalizing fragments of a spiritual past. Could one of these submerged sites have once guarded the Ark or other sacred treasures lost to time? The exploration of Lake Tonna's depths is still in its early stages, with much of the lake's floor remaining uncharted. Each discovery adds another layer to the puzzle, blending archaeology with local lore. Whether these ruins hold the key to religious mysteries or simply tell the story of a thriving ancient community, they remind us that Ethiopia's waters are as rich in history as they are in legend. And with that, we set our sights on another submerged wonder, where the echoes of the past continue to ripple through the present. Now, let's sail to the sun-drenched coast of Turkey, where the ruins of Apoli whisper tales of a once thriving Byzantine city now claimed by the sea. Unlike cities lost to sudden disasters, Apoli's fate was a slow surrender, centuries of rising Mediterranean waters gradually swallowing its streets, homes, and workshops. Today, its remains lie just offshore, so shallow that snorkelers can glide above ancient walls and crumbling towers, a ghostly city frozen in liquid time. What makes Apoli extraordinary isn't just its underwater preservation, but its role in history's most colorful trade, purple dye. This city was a hub for harvesting murex snails, the precious source of Tyrian purple, a dye so rare and costly it adorned the robes of emperors. Beneath the waves, stone vats used to extract the pigment still dot the seabed alongside piles of broken snail shells, a vivid reminder of the industry that once fueled Apoli's wealth. Archaeologists have pieced together how the city adapted to its watery fate. As sea levels crept higher, residents built seawalls and raised floors, fighting a losing battle against nature. By the 7th century, Apoli was abandoned, its purple workshops silenced, yet the sea, often a destroyer, became its accidental protector. The same waters that drowned the city shielded its ruins from looters and erosion, leaving behind a time capsule of Byzantine daily life. Apoli's story is a poignant echo of modern climate challenges, a warning etched in stone and seawater. But it's also a marvel for explorers, a place where history feels within reach just beneath the surface. As we leave these fading walls behind, our next stop plunges us into the alpine mysteries of Austria, where a lake hides secrets far colder and darker. From the sunken Byzantine dye workshops of Turkey, we now journey to the crisp, clear waters of Lake Zurich, where an entirely different underwater mystery awaits. Here, beneath the serene surface, lie the remnants of Neolithic villages that once thrived along these alpine shores over 5,000 years ago. These aren't the ruins of grand cities or temples, but something equally fascinating, simple yet ingenious wooden pile dwellings built by Europe's earliest lake-dwelling communities. What makes these submerged settlements so remarkable is how they offer a snapshot of daily life in the Stone Age. Archaeologists have discovered well-preserved wooden posts, tools, and even food remains, all protected by the lake's cold, oxygen-poor waters. These finds reveal that early Europeans didn't just live near lakes, they built their homes directly over the water, on sturdy platforms supported by wooden piles driven deep into the lake bed. It was a clever solution for safety, trade, and access to resources, showing a level of sophistication we rarely associate with such ancient times. Among the most intriguing discoveries are the remnants of fishing nets, hunting tools, and charred grains, painting a vivid picture of a society that relied on both the lake and the surrounding forest. The preservation is so exceptional that researchers can even trace the layout of entire villages, with homes clustered together and connected by wooden walkways. These communities weren't isolated. Trade goods like flint and amber found at the sites suggest they were part of a wider network stretching across Europe. Lake Zurich's pile dwellings are more than just archaeological curiosities. They're a testament to human adaptability. These early settlers didn't just survive in a challenging alpine environment. They flourished, creating a way of life that endured for centuries. As we leave these quiet underwater villages behind, our next dive takes us to a sunken city with a far more modern and mysterious story. A 20th century town deliberately flooded, where the past lingers just beneath the surface. Now let's surface from ancient history and plunge into a far more recent mystery, one where human hands, not nature, sent a city beneath the waves. In the lush highlands of Venezuela lies the haunting story of Potosi, a once thriving town sacrificed to progress in the 1980s. Unlike ruins lost to time or disaster, Potosi was intentionally flooded to create the Yorubante Caparo hydroelectric dam, its streets and buildings swallowed by the rising waters of the newly formed reservoir. What makes Potosi uniquely eerie is how it refuses to stay forgotten. During severe droughts, when water levels drop dramatically, the ghostly outlines of the town re-emerge, church steeples piercing the surface, crumbling walls exposed like skeletal remains. Locals still remember the hurried exodus, with families forced to abandon homes, schools, and even graves as engineers transformed their valley into a lake. Today, the submerged town serves as a stark reminder of the trade-offs between modernization and preservation. Archaeologists and divers who have explored Potosi describe an unsettling time capsule. The flooded church, its bell tower still intact, stands as the most poignant landmark. Beneath the surface, faint traces of rooftops and cobblestone paths hint at the community that once was. Unlike ancient ruins, Potosi's artifacts are hauntingly familiar: mid-century furniture, rusting bicycles, and even personal items left behind in the rush to evacuate. This modern Atlantis challenges our ideas about loss and legacy. While most underwater ruins whisper of civilizations long gone, Potosi's story is still raw, its memories carried by living witnesses. As we reflect on this deliberate drowning of a town, our next stop takes us even deeper into humanity's submerged past, to a place where Ice Age forests still stand frozen beneath the waves. Shifting our focus to the vast and ancient landscapes of Australia, we uncover two extraordinary sites that rewrite the timeline of human habitation. Beneath the waters of Lake Mungo and the submerged Sahul Shelf lie clues to some of the oldest human stories on Earth. Lake Mungo, now part of a dry outback basin, was once a thriving freshwater lake. Here, archaeologists discovered the remains of Mungo Man and Mungo Lady, dating back an astonishing 40,000 years. These finds are among the oldest evidence of human burial rituals, with Mungo Lady's cremated remains and Mungo Man's ochre-covered bones revealing sophisticated cultural practices. But what's truly fascinating is that these discoveries hint at a much larger, now submerged world. During the last ice age, when sea levels were lower, the Sahul Shelf connected Australia to New Guinea, creating a vast coastal plain where early Aboriginal communities lived. Today, that ancient landscape lies underwater, holding secrets of settlements, tools, and migration routes swallowed by rising seas. Some researchers believe these submerged areas could contain evidence of even older human activity, potentially pushing back the timeline of Australia's first peoples. The challenge, exploring these drowned landscapes, is like piecing together a puzzle scattered across the ocean floor. As we dive deeper into humanity's past, our next journey takes us to the sunken Roman splendor of Sabratha, where Mediterranean waves now lap against the ruins of a once glorious theater. Now let's journey to the shores of North Africa, where the Mediterranean Sea whispers secrets of a once thriving Roman marvel. The sunken city of Sabratha, Libya, stands as a haunting testament to both human ingenuity and nature's relentless power. Founded as a bustling port by the Phoenicians and later flourishing under Roman rule, Sabratha was a jewel of trade and culture until earthquakes sent parts of it tumbling beneath the waves. Today, the most striking sight is its partially submerged theater, one of the best preserved Roman theaters in the world. Imagine standing on its grand stage, where actors once performed for thousands, now with the Mediterranean's turquoise waters lapping at its edges. The theater's three-tiered seating, intricate marble columns, and ornate carvings remain eerily intact, offering a surreal blend of ancient grandeur and watery decay. But Sabratha's underwater secrets go beyond the theater. Divers have uncovered submerged streets lined with crumbling villas, marketplaces where merchants once haggled over exotic goods, and even remnants of a temple dedicated to Liber-Pater, the Roman god of wine and fertility. These ruins tell a story of a city that thrived on cross-cultural exchange, connecting Rome to the riches of Africa. What makes Sabratha especially fascinating is how it challenges our perception of time. The same earthquakes that doomed parts of the city also preserved them, freezing moments of daily life in stone beneath the sea. Archaeologists continue to debate whether more of Sabratha's treasures lie hidden in deeper waters, waiting to reveal clues about Rome's African frontier. As we leave these sunken Roman splendor behind, our next stop plunges us into the alpine mysteries of Austria's Lake Toplitz, where icy depths guard secrets from a much darker chapter of history. Now we turn from the sunken Roman splendor of Sabratha to the chilling depths of Austria's Lake Toplitz, where dark history and natural wonders collide beneath crystal-clear alpine waters. This remote mountain lake, surrounded by dense forests and towering cliffs, holds secrets that have fueled treasure hunts and conspiracy theories for decades. At first glance, Lake Toplitz seems like a peaceful alpine retreat, but its depths tell a far more sinister story. During World War II, the Nazis used this isolated location as a testing ground for underwater weapons and allegedly dumped crates of stolen gold, counterfeit British pounds, and sensitive documents into its waters as the Third Reich collapsed. Divers have recovered some of these eerie artifacts, including rusted ammunition boxes stamped with swastikas and bundles of fake banknotes, ghostly remnants of Operation Bernhard, the largest counterfeiting operation in history. But Lake Toplitz's mysteries go deeper than wartime intrigue. The lake's unique oxygen-free layer below 65 feet has preserved an underwater forest of ancient spruce trees dating back to the last ice age, their trunks still standing upright as if frozen in time. Scientists study these perfectly preserved trees to understand climate patterns from thousands of years ago, while treasure hunters remain fixated on rumors that the Nazis hid stolen art or even parts of the amber room in the lake's uncharted depths. The lake's treacherous conditions, freezing temperatures, tangled tree trunks, and layers of sunken logs have claimed lives, adding to its ominous reputation. Yet despite the dangers, expeditions continue, driven by the possibility that Lake Toplitz still guards undiscovered Nazi plunder or scientific secrets. Whether you're drawn by history's dark chapters or nature's preservation power, this alpine enigma reminds us that some underwater ruins hold more than just ancient stones. They conceal stories that still ripple through time. From these shadowy depths, we surface for our final mystery, the controversial sunken city said to lie off the coast of California, where some believe the lost civilization of Lemuria waits to be discovered. Now we journey from the icy depths of Lake Toplitz to the sunlit waters off California's coast, where an even more controversial mystery awaits. Just beyond the beaches of Malibu, sonar scans have revealed what some believe could be the remnants of a lost civilization, the fabled sunken city of Nepenthe. Stretching across the ocean floor, these unusual formations have sparked fierce debate among researchers, with some claiming they're the ruins of a 10,000-year-old metropolis linked to the legendary continent of Lemuria. The story begins in the 1990s when marine explorers scanning the Channel Islands basin detected strange geometric patterns nearly 2,000 feet below the surface. The sonar images showed what appeared to be stepped pyramids, crumbling walls, and even road structures that, if man-made, would predate any known civilization in the Americas. Proponents of the Lemurian theory argue that these ruins match ancient accounts of a Pacific landmass swallowed by the sea, a technologically advanced society said to have existed before recorded history. Skeptics, however, point to geology. The formations sit along a seismically active fault line, where natural processes like underwater landslides and volcanic activity can create strikingly regular shapes. Oceanographers note that the pyramids could be hardened sediment layers exposed by erosion, while the roads might be ancient riverbeds submerged when sea levels rose at the end of the last ice age. Yet even they admit the site is unusual. Its symmetry and scale defy easy explanation. Adding to the intrigue are local Chumash tribal legends that speak of a great flood swallowing their ancestors' coastal cities. Could these oral histories preserve a memory of Nepenthe's demise, or are we seeing patterns where none exist, projecting our fascination with lost worlds onto the ocean's unknowable depths? As with many underwater mysteries, the truth may lie somewhere in between. Whether Nepenthe is a forgotten chapter of human history or a geological marvel, its allure is undeniable. It challenges us to question what might still be hidden beneath the waves, and reminds us that the ocean's greatest secrets are often those we're just beginning to uncover. And with that, we've reached the end of our journey through 50 of the world's most puzzling underwater ruins. From Japan's Yonaguni Monument to California's Nepenthe, these submerged sites continue to captivate and mystify. They remind us that history isn't always written on dry land. Sometimes it's waiting beneath the tides, ready to rewrite what we thought we knew. If you've enjoyed diving into these aquatic enigmas, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an exploration into history's greatest mysteries. Drop a comment below which underwater ruin fascinates you the most. Until next time, keep wondering, keep exploring, and remember, the past is closer than you think, especially when it's just below the surface. As we resurface from this deep dive into the world's most enigmatic underwater ruins, one thing becomes strikingly clear: our planet's oceans hold far more secrets than we've ever imagined. From the sunken streets of ancient Greece to the pyramid-like structures off Japan, these 50 sites paint a breathtaking mosaic of lost civilizations, forgotten cities, and geological wonders. Each discovery whispers a story of human resilience, natural forces, and the relentless march of time. What's truly remarkable is how these submerged ruins connect us to our past in ways land-based archaeology simply can't. They reveal how rising sea levels reshaped coastlines, how earthquakes swallowed entire cities in moments, and how cultures thrived in places we'd never expect. The ruins of Dwarka and Heracleion remind us that even the mightiest empires can vanish beneath the waves, while the Neolithic villages of Israel and Switzerland show how early humans adapted to changing environments, echoing challenges we face today with climate change. But here's the thrilling part: we've only scratched the surface. With over 80% of the ocean still unexplored, who knows what else lies hidden in the abyss? Could there be older civilizations waiting to be found, or even evidence of catastrophic events that reshaped human history? Every new sonar scan or dive expedition could rewrite the textbooks. That's where you come in. Which of these underwater mysteries left you the most awestruck? Was it the pirate haven of Port Royal, frozen in time, the haunting legends of Rungholt swallowed by the North Sea, or the baffling Baltic Sea Anomaly that still defies explanation? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear which ruins sparked your curiosity. If you've enjoyed this journey through history's sunken secrets, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the unknown. Tap the notification bell so you never miss an adventure, and as always, keep exploring, keep questioning, and remember, the next great discovery might be just beneath the next wave. Until next time, stay curious.